Hey everyone, it's Laura Messiah, and I bought a house in Los Angeles, a townhouse actually, and I'm super happy about it. So if you are a regular here on the channel, welcome back and hello. If you're not, subscribe so you can be a regular. But for my regulars, you know that, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or so, I did a home tour of my LA apartment. And in that tour, I told y'all that would be my last rental. And it was. Actually, the moment that I moved in to that house or that apartment, I said, this is my last rental. The next move I will own. And now I do. So I just wanted to, before we break into the house tour videos, because we are going to do a pre-renovation home tour, because this girl, this residence, it needs some renovating. But before we dive into that, I just wanted to kind of share my experience purchasing a home as a single woman and in Los Angeles, because there was a lot of stuff that no one really prepared me for. I mean, I kind of feel like just how your mom doesn't sit down with you and teach you how to dress when you're growing up, you just kind of have to figure it out. That no one, I guess you can read a book, but no one really fully prepared me for the stress of purchasing from every step of the way to putting in your offer, negotiating, the stress of the home inspection, all the checks you have to write for, this inspection, this thing. I just had no idea. I just had no idea. And I just feel like I wish someone didn't give me a step by step, because yeah, if I picked up a book about it, I probably wouldn't read it. It'd be so boring. But just to let me know that this is not a cakewalk. And for me, it was whenever I envisioned myself purchasing property, I always think back to when I was younger, even high school or college, where it's when I buy my home, it's gonna be with my husband, and we're gonna have a kid on the way, and we're gonna be, this room will be the nursery. I just had this fantasy about what my first home purchase would be. I didn't expect it to be something that I would be doing completely by myself. My parents live on the other side of the country. They're in the DC area. And I just didn't have my dad to help me or a boyfriend to help me. And it was just very, very stressful, but also very rewarding. So last November, October, I just looked at this one beautiful townhouse. It was off of Melrose, and I looked at it. It was beautiful. It was beautifully decorated. It was everything that I wanted. It had a roof deck. It was just pimp. I just loved it. I think it was $900,000, and I wanted it so bad, and I was not prepared to purchase a home at all. I had some money saved, but not enough for the down payment. I started applying for the loans. I was only getting pre-approved for I don't know, some amount that was not 900,000. And I'm what is up with this? I have two businesses. They make a lot of money, and I can't get approved for a $900,000 house. What? And that was kind of the first step of getting the wheels moving of how I had to be, financially on paper equipped to purchase a home, how I needed to accelerate my savings plan. So next time a place came up that I wanted, I would be able to move very quickly. So I feel that home, even though it was the dream, I didn't get it. I felt it was there to plant the seed to prepare me for where I am right now. So, if one door closes, it might not really be a close. It might just be hey, I need this to not happen so you can get things in motion so something greater happens later. And I just became obsessed with that house from that day, what was it? October, November 2017, 18? I get confused around the end of the year, like what the numbers are. Yeah, 17. I started journaling every single night, like every single morning. I am moving into my new townhouse off of Melrose Avenue. I would visualize it so clearly of like seeing the movers, seeing Yoji like run into the new space, and just like really living in the existence of that is my place. And I even wrote in my journal and in my vision boards that by Christmas the following year, I would be spending it in my new townhouse off of Melrose Avenue. Guess what? December 3rd, 2018, the following Christmas season, I moved into a townhouse off of Melrose Avenue. Not that townhouse, but a townhouse off of Melrose Avenue in time for Christmas. Everything unfolded exactly how I imagined it. So that original place was a gift to plant the seed and get me financially equipped and just prepared. So, my first kind of piece of advice to you is like, well, one, visualize, freaking works. We'll get into that into a later video. It works. But also just start getting all of your ducks in a row, even if it's not for that. So I went to all of the different banks and found out what I could be pre-approved for. I got, a relationship going with the mortgage broker who specialized in working with entrepreneurs to work with the best banks that would give the best loans, because on paper, it doesn't look the same as someone who has a normal job. I got my real estate guy in place who would help me negotiate and shop for homes. I got him in place a year before I found this. I set up every single alert, looking at all the new listings that popped up in my price range, out of my price range, under my price range, in the neighborhood I wanted to live in the neighborhood I didn't want to live in. So it was constantly just giving the energy of I'm moving in a year. And I remember it was it October or November? Must have been November or October. Was it before my birthday? When was the Drake concert? I don't know. Anyways, I went to the Drake concert. Right before I went to get dressed, I got an alert that there was a townhouse for sale off of Melrose. Normally, when I get my home alerts, they come in the morning and there's like a million of them from Zillow. This just like was a single one in the middle of the afternoon, and it was like, this is your house. I opened up the listing and I was like, this is my place. I immediately, because I already had my team in order, hit up my mortgage guy. I said, hey, I have this much in savings. This is how much the house costs. Is there any first-time home buyers deals that I can use? Can I get this place? He ran the numbers. 10 minutes later, he's like, yes, you can. Hit up my real estate guy. I said, why is this house so affordable? Is it haunted? Find out, get back to me. He's like, it's not haunted. It's priced to move. You're probably going to negotiate and spend way more than the listing price, but it's not haunted. I said, let's do this. So the open house was on a Sunday. I started stalking it on a Saturday. They saw me stalking it and let me come in and be the first one to see it. They were like setting up for the open house. And I knew. I looked once, I came back with a friend, looked twice, put in the offer, and we were off to the races. There was 4 offers, which I think was bullshit. I think the selling agent was bullshitting to get the price up. Put in the offer, and this is where the stress kicks in. The negotiating, the I need your best and final offer, not knowing what that is, getting advice from mentors, from your parents, everywhere, and not knowing what to do. But I ended up getting the place. It was a huge stress with the appraisal and the inspection. But the advice that I can give you is to just like do whatever the next step is in front of you, and don't be afraid to ask a million questions. I asked every question to my real estate guy. I was like, this is probably going to be the dumbest question, but I need to ask it. You just ask and you just do the next thing in front of you, and everything ends up working out. The place is smaller than I want it to be. It's needs a lot of renovations, but it's mine. And it's really special because it was a goal that I had for myself that I achieved. And it's going to be really fun decorating and renovating. So I'm going to give you guys a tour of the space, and I'm also going to do a video on how you can start to prep for your decorating. It's actually very similar to working on your personal style. So we'll go through all of that. But the last thing that I want to leave you with, buying a home as a single woman. This was just like the final little like slap in the face. When you're signing your escrow paperwork, which by the way, this many papers, the stamp where you sign it, the stamp is built for couples. It's built for two. It's like his and her stamp. And I was like, you guys don't have a stamp that just has like one name that's just like one? They're like, no, they're like, most people buy like, you know, in like a pair, like in a couple. She goes, but good for you for buying it by yourself. I was like, y'all need to invest in a single person stamp. That'd be real nice. And they also identify you on your escrow paperwork as a single woman. It's like, Laura Messiah, a single woman is purchasing this home. You're like, really, guys? Like, do you know what year it is? We can't get the single stamp, and we have to, like, I can't just be my own name. I have to be a single woman buying a home. It's ridiculous. So if you're going to buy a house by yourself, just be prepared for the escrow insult, the insulting stamp in title. But anyways, I'm just super happy that I reached this goal because it's been a huge goal of mine. One that seemed impossible because purchasing in LA, everything is like $1 million. Like a 1-bedroom shack is like $1.2 million. So whatever your crazy dream is, if you want to own a home, if you want to start a business, just know that it's completely possible. Do whatever the next indicated step is and just dream big and visualize the hell out of it, because my exact vision came true in this house that you're about to see. So I will catch you guys in the next video when we will kick off the tour.
Laura Messiah.
So I'm Laura Messiah. Hello.
Here I took a oversized Dodgers jersey, which is for a man.
Yeah.
Put a belt over it
Look
and
at that.
some heels. We have just brought sexy back
Yes, you have.
to the Dodgers. So, you know.
I mean, the Puig jersey has never looked so good.
Like this